Hello, this is Kimbra reporting to you from Ethiopia. I don't do this very often, a video diary, or at least in a public sense like this. But I guess this trip has been very powerful for me, and I've been challenged as to how I share some of the stories and some of the things that I'm experiencing. Sometimes I find it hard on social media with things like Twitter or Instagram to fully express some of the things that I'm feeling or some of the messages I wish to share. So I presume that I am talking to fans of my music or people that listen to my records, and for that I'm very thankful. And I guess I've been really feeling a sense of gratefulness at the influence I have, but also a sense of responsibility to share some of the things that are on my heart. And I just feel so thankful that there are people out there to listen. So as a way of documenting my time over here, I've decided to speak some of it out on this little photo booth device. Yeah, it's been an incredible trip so far. I'm here, I guess, with a charity called Tirza. I met a lady called Cheryl Lovejoy, who works for Tirza. And a couple of years ago, she told me about this outreach that they do in Burundi and also in Ethiopia. This specific trip is a partnership with BESA, who do work with 30 of the most underprivileged women here in Ethiopia, specifically women who are living up on a mountain called Intoto. They are all HIV positive, and they go up to this mountain because they have heard that there is holy water up there. So they believe that if they drink this water, it will heal them of HIV. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and many of them are up there very ill. They have very young children. They're often widows. They have no sustainable income or food. So a group of university students in Ethiopia came across this community, and they felt so convicted they needed to do something. So they partnered with a church over here called Besa. They said, we need your help, and how can we create an outreach program for these women? So this Intoto outreach program developed, which consists of educational programs for these young children, the sons and daughters of the HIV-affected woman, also providing them with clothes and food. And then it also provides a way of helping the woman, which is through teaching them sustainable businesses. So they all have skills. I mean, everyone has a skill, right? So these women, some of them like to cut hair, some of them make incredible Injera, which is like the pancakes that you eat over here in Ethiopia. Some of them sew, some of them make jewelry. So the Bears Outreach Program are helping them to develop that and then make a sustainable income from that skill. And they've seen it happen, and they've seen lives changed, and it's been incredible to be over here and to witness the seeds being planted, which is essentially the first week of the program for the woman. So these are the 30 women that have been selected by the community. You know, everyone kind of is involved in the process, and then you know, those initial few days for them of kind of learning their skill and developing their skill and starting to see a new life take shape for them. So I guess for me, the last couple of days have consisted of visiting these centers. So I went to the education center where the children are. They're there every couple of days a week. I mean, I think it's maybe 3 or 4 times a week, including a Saturday session where they all come together and play and learn English. And a lot of them are already attending school, but schools here in Ethiopia, there's like 50 or 60 kids in each class. They don't get much one-on-one time with the teacher. So these classes provide that kind of personal mentoring and like I said, food and clothes. And so I spent the day with these kids, and they're, playing and they're laughing, and they're teaching me things, and they couldn't stop playing with my nails. They just kept like wanting to touch me, and like it was so cute. And I was blown away by how smart they were. They were so articulate and so funny. Such a great sense of humor. And so ambitious. We asked them, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be? And this one girl, Maharaban, I think that was her name. She said, I want to be a doctor. I want to be an eye specialist doctor so that I can help my mother because she's blind. And I was just blown away. And I was wondering, what is their home life like? Where do these kids come from? What kind of background? It seems like they come from a very loving family. They seem so well balanced. So then we went to their villages. Most of these children live up in Intoto, up on the mountain. We entered into the slums. That was my first time really seeing that. My first time seeing a real slum. Houses made of mud and straw and sticks, corrugated iron ceiling. Barren land, just a clothesline and some clothes, dogs, flies. We went to this one woman's house. She's HIV positive, and she actually has a husband, which is rare. He was using this machine to make scarves, weaving scarves. And she was about to start a business in making Injera, this pancake. She has 5 children, and we sat in her house. Her house was about the size of a standard bathroom, if you can imagine that. She sleeps on a bed with her husband, a small, tiny mattress in the corner of the room. And her children sleep on the floor. 5 children. It's not a nice wooden floor, but it was mud, just a mud floor. These were the same children that I'd just seen at the education center. Just seen them laughing and playing, and now here they were at home. And my heart, it was just breaking. And she told us about her hope for the future, that she wanted to start a business and, sell the bread, and that maybe that would lead to her making a better life for her children. And I really, I believe that's going to happen for her. Beza is providing her with money to start up the business, and then we'll be following up with her to kind of see it come into fruition. But it was very eye-opening, especially the moment when you drive away, and you leave it behind, and you think about all the things we have in our own lives. And these kids have known nothing different. They don't know any other life than this. But they so deserve that. I guess I feel this kind of sadness, but also this excitement at what we can do, what we can do. And the way that I guess Bessa is going about it is so forward-thinking, because it's really about creating something sustainable for them. Anyway, we went to another house after this. We went to another lady's house. She also lives in the Intoto village. Her husband died, so she's all alone. She is homeless, but she lives with her brother. Her brother said she could sleep on the floor. So again, sleeping on the floor with her 2 sons, 11 years old and 15 years old. She makes Injera, so she's already got a business that she started, but Bessa is helping her to now expand that business and grow the business. Her life was intense. She wakes at 4 a.m. every morning, and she goes to sleep at 11 p.m. She has to wake before the sun rises to start making the Injera and getting it all prepared. She has no days off in the week. She has some holidays, throughout the year. So she told us to make Injera. That was amazing. I thought it was going to be really easy, but then I tried, and man, my Injera was crazy. It was just like this big scribble and kind of like all these holes in it. And it showed to me how much of a skill it is to make these pancakes, and gave me great respect for her. And I think, it was beautiful for her to share her skill with us, to show us her gift, then that really is a gift, to be able to bake and to cook. And it was wonderful to laugh and to share that with her, and to honor her, and I guess bless her for the coming development of her life. It was so cool to be at the start of all this, and I'm so excited to come back and watch how it all grows. I'm sure things are going to be so different for that woman when we return. Um, I came back to the place that we're staying with this kind of great sense of empowerment and motivation. Sometimes you feel so powerless, sponsor a child or you give a little money here and there, but something about today gave me the sense of like real belief that I can do something to make real long-term change, and that we all can, if we are, investing in the right places and investing in the right ways that are really gonna make long-term change. But what made this experience even more powerful was that night I went for dinner with a lady called Atu, who actually lives in Southern Carolina, and she is also part of this outreach program, very involved. But she used to be one of those little girls, so she really was a daughter to a single mother, and they slept on a dirt floor, muddy ground, and she lived like that, all of her life until she married a man who eventually moved to America to study chemical engineering. She became a hospital chaplain and was very interested in nursing and had a heart for caring for other people, a heart to love others. And I guess has found her calling now in being a voice for the Ethiopians and being a voice for the women sharing their stories. She said to me, I became so disillusioned at one point because I thought, what can I do? I have no real money to give. I have no real job that is going to allow me to make a real difference, with the Ethiopians. What can I do to help? And she just had this kind of revelation of, I've got my voice, I've got my hands, I've got my feet. The power of sharing stories, but direct experiences, the power of seeing it for yourself, holding hands with the young girls, the young boys, speaking their language, making Injera with them. This is powerful stuff. And for me, it is quite life-changing to have now seen it and touched it. And I want to share that. I want to talk about it because it is so sad and challenging, but also so empowering and exciting, because I'm not just seeing, hopeless poverty over here. I'm seeing an incredible spiritual love taking place amongst these people, a true selflessness. And it's very, very inspiring. So I don't know, where the next few days are going to lead, but I plan to continue to record my experiences and share them with you. And I guess, perhaps maybe inspire you in some way as well with the things that I'm experiencing, whatever that means for you. If it means making a trip yourself to see these people, to meet these people, or maybe even just getting behind supporting them, in whatever way you can. But it's not even really about that. It's just about the power of human connection and the power of a story, me being able to share the stories of young Mattis, and young Maharban, who wants to be an eye specialist. And, it's really an honor for me to communicate that with an audience. So thank you. And I'll leave it there, but I will be back to share more stories. And ciao from Ethiopia.